And I'm glad to see a less priority here on those AD mids. I think looking around the Rift, I don't necessarily have a favorite for who comes out on top in terms of that
and these solo lane picks are so exciting that we've kind of ignored the fact that you have Smolder, probably the weakest early game ADC, into MF, who likely is the strongest early game ADC.
Ashe.
Yeah, behind the Ashe. So we'll see if Frank can take advantage of how lopsided this ADC matchup is. Gonna be difficult to get dives off against this Braum, but definitely doable.
Yeah, and I think it's also just equaled out a bit by the fact that Braum is a lot stronger early than the Alistar. So
yeah, and so good into the MF specifically.
Yeah. We'll see. It's going to take... I mean, this entire game, honestly, similar to last game, just comes down to execution.
Yeah.
In general. Now, I will say I think the Frank side has a lot easier execution.
Yeah, I agree. Just sit in side lanes. These champs both crush Cassante in a side lane. If Gory can't get any advantage, it's going to be difficult for CFO to play the mid game here.
Yeah, concussive blows comes through, and thanks to that, Aftershock won't be too detrimental.
Yeah, also just MF does so much more damage than Smolder at this point, so... Oh, nice Q from Sword Art. The reps on the Braum paying off.
Yeah, and does have Guardian. Thank B Sword Art.
The heal as well, I think, is quite intelligent. No point in taking Ignite, at least for the lane. Might feel a little... might feel pretty good against the Yone later on, as well as the Maokai, but for the lane phase, makes sense to take heal.
Oh, that's looking fun. Pressy attack not able to be procced though by Wako. Thankfully for Shun, not going to lose out a big chunk of his health, although he does lose a big chunk anyway.
Speaking of losing chunks of HP is Jimmyan.
Yeah,
still has his health bot.
Not overly surprising here in this matchup, but he has to be careful. Thankfully, no Ignite on Gory.
Yeah, this feels like a lot of damage to have taken just at level 1 and 2.
Yeah, going to pop his pot now. And thanks to the absurdity that is Fleet Footwork, Absorb Life, Second Wind.
Doran's Shield.
Doran's Shield. He is back to half HP. He has that pot ticking, of course, as you will lose access to that. But
yeah, Gory not having to use a single potion yet. But yeah, you do just trade CS for HP on champions like the Yone. And once upon a time, the Silas.
And the
Kali. What happened to those champs? They were fun. Unplayable into AD mids.
Yeah.
If you're wondering.
Yeah, I would hate to be a Silas and have a Lucian picked against me.
Yeah, even just a Corki. Pretty depressing. Not giving you all that great of an ultimate.
Yeah, last split, Silas actually was great into Corki. The AP Corki.
Yeah, you got like 8 rockets or something, no?
Yeah, just you got the full stack of rockets, but also it just did more damage because of how the ult scaling works. Now Jimmy going to be going aggressive onto Gory. Oh! That would have been really cool if it had paid off, but it doesn't. The Ignite coming through, though. Gory, he almost... Oh, the Bramble Smash. Oh, my God. If that had worked out for Kaiwing, and you see Jimmyan laughing, that would have looked so cool, but instead he did look a little silly. Eventually, they do manage to find that kill, though, as Gory, unfortunately, not having access to that distortion means he doesn't have that gap closer, only the flash. He will go down. But it does cost both flashes from the support and jungle there on the side of Frank Esports. As, yeah, Jung trading well, but Driver, I mean, akin to this Yone, just has so much sustain built into his kit with those runes.
Oh, the TP finishes for Gemini. This could have been a good counter gank for him.
Jung,
Jung's just dead.
Here's a ward. Will be able to jump away. Has flash as well, so he's fine.
Yeah, nice. Nicely played from Jung. Absorbed some pressure there. Karsa has to show on the map.
Yeah, doesn't lose anything but a ward.
And honestly, Gory is a psycho for not flashing here in Kaiwing's defense. But Gemini has to come in with the flash to save him, and I think LBW very close to coming back up and getting Gory over the wall. Max range Q from Gemini as
Skywalker and Pretender having a giggle.
Relief for the coach of Frank. As yeah, that was so much invested in the mid lane. Jimmyan now able to pick up this null magic mantle. Is going to feel so much better in this lane. When you have so much healing, resists gain a lot of value compared to HP.
Yeah. Well, that is, I mean, an early kill onto Gory again. This time not solo in his defense, but again, it's just Kaiwing and Gemini playing so well around each other, finding those same timings. Kaiwing even returning now once again as Wako looks for that recall. He's going to make his way to this mid lane. And with that, Gory's just going to have to allow priority over this mid wave for Jimmy.
Yeah, the trade-off here is that Shun is doing perfectly fine on the Smolder in a lane that should have been very difficult for him. But they're identifying that LB is the most important champ on this comp. Is nice trading from Jiang. LB is the most important champion on the side of the CFO comp. If she's off to a bad start, the side lanes are a tragedy for CFO.
Yeah, and you can have all the Smolders that you want. Smolder not going to want to be in a side lane.
Yeah, against Jax or Yone. And just can't be in 3 lanes. You can be the strongest champ on the map. And it's really frustrating to be an ADC in that position when the enemy solo laners are just stronger and playing 3 lanes. Though CS lead still heavily favoring Gory.
Not overly surprising. We usually see Yone go down a little bit against these range champs. And I think with the lane pressure that Gory has on the LeBlanc over something like an AD carry, which is traditionally what we've seen this Yone picked in.
Yeah, very true.
But back to live.
Yeah, can they break this freeze on the side of CFO before the Maokai gets here? It's looking likely. Yeah, they managed to break the freeze. Looked a little bit scary, but Shun is just level 6 already.
Yeah.
So the hardest part of the lane certainly over for the Smolder, and that is the trade-off for this kill that they got onto Maokai, really. So right now, not feeling all that amazing about this mid-play, R-Frank.
No flash here on Gemini, but they are looking for Shun. Nature's Gas coming through. How's he going to escape this? He has the cleanse, but he's going to have to use it immediately. Flash away. Can Kaiwing find his way onto Shun? No, he won't, but it is both summoners now burnt away from the Smolder.
Yeah, more opportunity cost showing there for losing your flashes on your support and jungler. Gemini with his flash there certainly kills that Smolder. Jimmy has to use his E to last it. That is horrifying.
I mean, that is often what happens. It's not an unknown thing about Yone. Now, he has teleport, so he's going to be able to get back to his lane.
But no flash up here.
Yeah, no flash available. Will they be able to find this dive? Not the easiest champ in the world is Jax to dive. Jungler gets slowed up, should be able to get CC. Grandmaster's Might comes out. Q3 won't land, and he's managed to navigate it for now. Waiting for this ultimate to go down, but the teleport now. Jimmy keeping it from the play earlier as Caster flashes away. Will have Arctic Assault, but Jimmy importantly utilizing that teleport to save his top laner. Won't be able to get back to his mid lane, but I think a very, very well worth it trade.
Yeah, gonna suck a bit for Jimmy, who cancels his recall.
Yeah, just yoinking some of his top laners' farm.
Yeah, it makes sense to go for that TP. As Jimmy-in. And they could just leave Jimmy-in up here. He should do fine into the Cassante, but he's built... I mean, they've both just built magic resist up here.
Yeah, is going to eventually go for that recall now. Cassante very quick at pushing waves, but does struggle a little bit with the cannon waves, so hopefully Yijiang able to get up there in time. Is Kaiwing going to spot out a pink ward?
Yeah.
Take that one out.
Just going to miss a creep or two on the Jax. Crisis averted. You need this Jax to be strong for this game plan to work for Frank. Of having mega side lane pressure. Because right now, the game plan of Smolder carry us late game is looking pretty good for CFO.
Yeah, but hold up. Sword Art going to be able to just get away. That was a very long-ranged Braum dash, but Sword Art has quite a few reps on this champion, so not too surprised that he knows the range on that ability.
Yeah, Waka's looking quite good on the MF too. As Kaiwing goes in, not 6 yet. Just be a little careful, but it is just a no ulti Smolder at this point in the game. As you have to imagine Gemini is going to reset here and run straight back bot. What have you seen?
Just the amount of tower plates taken. Almost 2 up at that top side for Yijiang.
Yeah, very good start for him with a cull as well. Going to be mega scaling into this game. Puzzling Spectre's Cowl, I think, from
that's
Driver.
what I was about to ask as well. What is the purpose of this item?
Jax does do a lot of magic damage, so along with the Maokai, who he's mostly going to be fighting. But yeah, it's still weird. Jimmy-in really suffering. He's just used his TP top right, and Gory still has his own, so...
Sword Art going to face check into this bush, and there's 2 big brawly men in there, although Cow in a tree is more accurate to their lore, as Sword Art can use that glacial fissure, get himself out, but here comes that bullet time. Shun getting punished, Gory coming down, but won't be able to find the angle.
Yeah, I think Gory's maybe left a little too soon, though...
How's he?
Gemini's in trouble.
Yeah, Gemini is...
I think he's just dead.
In no man's land. Flash away, going to use that Twisted Advance to get onto Gory, but he gets stuck up. Very, very nice out of Caster, and Kaiwing's going to go down now as well. The Unbreakable Will not going to be enough to tank up, and that is Shun picking himself up a kill alongside Gory.
Yeah, Frank, I think, make the correct play and trying to gank this Smolder again, but CFO just read him like a book. It's Sword Art who has his summoners up, who finds them first. As we're going to see Gory just running away from Jimmy-In. Not much Jimmy-In can do to stop this LB roaming, really, and Gemini overstaying his welcome. Not much to be done, and Kaiwing loses his flash on the tail of this.
Ooh, top.
Oh, no, keeps his flash.
I saw Driver use his all-out and came out even in that trade. His all-out ran out. Jiang went aggressive, used his Grandmaster's Might, and lost the trade. So, interested to see what actually occurred up in that top side.
Oh, Jimmy-In gets his recall interrupted is a tragedy for him. Maybe he can stay around with Kaiwing here to protect him. He's trying to block the chain there, but Gory not even throwing it. Gemini, no flash here.
Will be found out. Actually, chain goes wide there onto Gemini.
Yeah, trying to trade the grubs now. Will be 6 grubs for Frank, which, if the plan is to win through side lanes, feels pretty good.
Yeah. But, I mean, on the other side, right, it's these 2 early dragons, which will force the side laners out.
Yeah, love that on Smolder.
The good news, I guess, for the side of Frank in terms of that is that Jax and Yone are both 2 very good team fighting champs anyway. It's not like they're just a one-dimensional, we have to split push to win kind of champs.
And we saw Frank use specifically this Maokai-Yone combo really well against Ground Zero.
Jimmy into the spot side. We found Sword Art. Up goes the wall, but through comes a bullet time. It's blocking up so much of that damage, and Jimmy-In's not even able to snap back to that E to get out in time, and he just goes down. It looked like a good proactive play out of Frank, but it's CFO who went out in the end. Is Kaiwing going to use his ult to tank up this minion wave to try and disallow a dive from coming through? Now, Wako has both sums. He gets stunned up. Kaiwing's trying to find Peel for his AD carry, but not able to do so. As Shun tanking the tower will be able to get on out of there, and it's a kill for nothing. In the top side as well, Driver, he misses out on that Q. Now, Jiang, he's running away. There's a blast cone available to himself, and he does manage to get away.
Yeah, I think Jiang gets very lucky to survive there. Both flashes blown by these top laners. Kaiwing does his best to tank up the wave, but too many members of CFO and too many cooldowns expended by Frank for Wako to ever survive there. I believe Kaiwing did get out with his life, as it's the Muramana build for Shun. I think it's usually Muramana into Spear of Shojin when you do go for the tier first on Smolder.
Yeah, he's got all the components for Spear of Shojin, very close to having that. Wako on the other side has the Bloodthirster.
And yeah, just not enough damage to take down Sword Art. He starts this fight chunked as well, but maybe you have to question Wako going for the ulti while the Braum shield is still up. Would have loved to still have his MF ult up here to kill this wave, make the dive more difficult. Wako does use his flash here, but it's after the LB chain has already landed for Gory. Buffers it with his W there, so he still connects onto Wako. Doesn't quite go down to that last tower shot. Very depressing. And yeah, it's actually Driver winning out as far as plates go in the top lane. You see on your screen.
Yeah. Jimmy now coming up here to this top side to match Gory. But this Rift Herald, I mean, it is CFO ahead. Not the most insanely, but 1k this stage in the game is pretty good, especially when you have that Smolder on your team.
Yeah, and the 2 dragons to boot.
So only got a team comp built around the early game, and then a Smolder, I think, is a pretty good way to try and get the Smolder online. Just so much power through that Cassante, through the LeBlanc.
Yeah, and this Braum pick just feels so good for shutting down this MF. A good way to come back into these games is just finding a massive Ali combo or a Yone ulti into an MF ult. Sword Art can single-handedly shut that down. As you see, he tanked an entire MF ulti and still walked out with about 300 HP. And it's looking really difficult to get these side laners online at the moment for Frank.
Jimmy going to go backwards with his Q there, I think to no one's real surprise.
CFO on the Rift Herald. I would be shocked to see Frank contest this, really.
Yeah, we'll see. I doubt it as well, but I mean, Jimmy has pulled off some magical stuff on this Yone. Maybe he'll look for it again, but he doesn't have any control over that top lane.
Yeah, 0 prio and no ulti.
Marco clearing out the mid wave, as is Shun there on the Smolder. But CFO, utmost priority. Should be able to pick up this Rift Herald for themselves, and we'll see what they get with it. Obviously, this bot lane tower going to go down to Driver, as we see on our screens now.
Yeah, that's first tower picked up. Driver definitely getting the better of Jung.
Yeah, up a lot of CS as well.
Yeah, did get that one gank from the Sejuani, but you still wouldn't expect him to run away with this matchup so severely.
Being looked at now, though, the flash from Gemini is Driver trying to find some way to get out of this. The all-out comes through, but shouldn't be able to find anything. And Jung able to confirm himself a kill. It's another game. And Driver getting caught out in the side lane.
Yeah, kind of throwing away how well he's played this early lane phase. Does have a Spirit Visage finish somehow. Just picked up so much plate gold and first blood tower.
Yeah, and Gory on the top side picks up a tower as well. So it's not all for nothing, but certainly would have rather picked up that tower without having your top laner go down.
Yeah, actually undid the Spirit Visage. Decides he might want boots. Undoes the boots. Okay, and starts building armor. That makes sense to me.
Yeah. Jung wisely going to back away from this wave. Much quieter game here, game number 2. As the teams are still fairly even in terms of that gold. It is 1k still roughly in favor of CFO, but more standing gold on the map available for Frank if they get the time to look at it. In saying that, though, Rift Herald is actually in CFO's pocket as well as 2 dragons, so certainly in the lead are CFO.
Yeah, and the problem is you've picked up these Void Grubs and not really been able to touch any towers yet on the side of Frank, so they're in horrible shape to fight the Soul Point drag if they do want to, and I feel like you kind of have to.
Yeah, it's getting started up here. You're not going to want to give over 3 early dragons to the team that have the Smolder, but Shun positioned well, staying very safe and able to thwart off any attempts for Kaiwing to get into that pit, as well as Gory finds Jimmy on the side and chunks him out. A substantial amount of health taken away from this Yone, as Gory piloting this LeBlanc fantastically.
Yeah, the Snow Magic Mantle not doing all that much for Jimmy, and 1 LB combo taking off half his HP from a perfect safety.
Now Jung looking to trade something for himself up on the top side. Is just going to commit to the tower as Driver trying to clear out the minion wave. Will be able to do so, but down goes the tower.
Yeah, matchup still looks the same.
Tana went to Sword Art. He has that Braum shield. Going to use it nice and early. Through comes the Twisted Advance. And the bullet time. Not going to have the damage, but Jimmy may be able to find his way to Sword Art. He will be able to do that. And now Cast has just been caught out. And oh my god, this guy's gone from one side of the map to the other. But Gory comes in from that side of the map. Shuts down Jimmy. Is able to find that 1 kill back. It's a 2-4-1 though in favor of Frank, and they also did manage to pick up that top side tower. But now it's CFO in this mid lane with Gory sitting between these towers with the Rift Herald now placed down, looking to take down all the map prio for themselves.
Yeah, how do you defend this tier 2 tower now if you're the side of Frank? They've even rotated Driver down. They don't go for it. Surprisingly, it felt like Gory was in such a strong position there with these low HP bars on Frank. But they decide to play disciplined on the side of CFO, as it looks like Karsa is just griefing once Sword Art eventually goes down here. But it is because they have Gory. I'm assuming he TPs to the Raptors here. Yeah. TPs to the Raptor. Jimmy and takes so much damage to finish off Sword Art. And Gory is going to pick up a very delicious kill onto this Yone and salvage the play for his teammates, even grabbing the Alistair flash on the way out.
Yeah, so I mean, things still remaining relatively even, especially with this tower now certain to go down. And you can see the difference in how these teams want to play the fights.
Yep. Jiang now finally coming online in the side lane, it feels like. Hasn't had to lane against this LB yet, importantly. Can very easily go down.
Yeah, and I like Jimmy's itemization. Looking for that Hexdrinker next. Gives him a lot of resistance up against the LeBlanc, and he needs it as soon as possible because Gory now sits at 2 items. I would say the strongest champion on the map at this current stage.
Yeah, insanely farmed and just has 3 kills, 2 assists to his name.
Jimmy,
oh Jesus.
My lord.
That is
the ult.
Lot of damage.
The Mimic now gone from Gory. He actually gets knocked up there, and Jimmy finds a trade back for himself.
Yeah, not nearly enough lifesteal at this point, though, to sustain before Gory's ulti comes back up, so it has to take a recall. And it's actually, yeah, as expected, I guess, the LB, when she gets a good start like this, means that the Yone never gets online in the side lane. Gonna be shield bow, I guess, for Jimmy.
No, yeah. I thought it was actually just going to be him going for that Hexdrinker.
Feels like he needs to get MR somewhere. Maybe just upgrade the null magic into a Negatron. It's less gold efficient, but...
Yeah, and I mean, ultimately, he's probably going to go Jack Show. That's what we see. That's what we saw him go last time, I believe.
Yeah, Shun online alongside Gory. Sword Art 2 items as well. Just connecting with every chain, Gory.
Yeah, I mean, still a very contentious game at the moment.
Yeah.
1K in favor of CFO. This has stayed the same for so long. There's just 3 saplings in the same bush.
Yeah, tanked up by the Sejuani passive. I don't know if they even stack damage.
I think they do stack the damage, but not the like sequential burn damage.
Yeah.
You know, I think the little tick damage doesn't actually stack, but the original explosion will. But that doesn't really do any damage anyway, so. But
Cryo in the mid lane for CFO.
1 minute.
1 minute on this Cloud Soul feels good for CFO's comp. Cassante gonna use that so well. LB gonna just use it so often.
What about Shun stacks? 1 million. He's 1 million.
Really, he's online. Oh god. This is gonna be.
Oh, he didn't queue it. He still needs 1 minute. He's going to get it anyway.
Yeah, he can just
does anything.
hit a champion.
Yeah. Oh, talking about hitting a champion. Jung being looked at here in the bot side. It's 3 members of CFO hitting away at this tower, and nothing really the Jacks can do about it.
TP flank.
Yeah, TP flank coming in though. Jung going to try find his way onto Shun. Shun playing very, very aggressively, but they don't know. Do they know that Jimmy's here? It doesn't seem like it. Jimmy should be able to find an angle. Aggression coming through, and we don't have Gory here. The knockout comes through. The 3-man once again. The bullet time is massive, and Frank have found the team fight angle, but Shun, he's online. There's a lot of low health bars. Execution number 1. Can I get an execution number 2? Yes, I can. As Gory comes in and secures that 1. A 2 for 2, but the tower's going to go down. And priority around this dragon soul, mind you, for CFO.
Could have gone down to that chain from Gory. And the engage looks amazing from Frank, aside from this Maokai ult just being used maybe way too early by Gemini. They just lock down the Braum. Braum doesn't counter the MF if he never gets to move and actually cast his E. Kaiwing, insane engage for his team there. But once Gory shows up to this fight, Shun is just free hitting the whole time. Once the LB shows up from Gory, the fight just completely swings in CFO's favor. They're able to pick up a couple kills, the tower, and probably the drag if we jump back to live.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe another fight. Castle just soloing it, and it looks like the side of Frank Esports just don't give a damn, and they're sitting up here on the top side trying to get vision over this Baron, but with Driver there and a Sword Art and Gory as well, there's not really anything that Frank can do to make any form of play, I guess, around this top side anyway.
Yeah, they don't even try to hit the Baron. There's an LB there waiting to one-shot someone. Even the Maokai, because he did go for the Leandries first, is very susceptible. Jimmy going to get a good chunk onto Sword Art, who has his Warmogs finished anyway.
Yep. The tale is old as time. Chunking the support's not mattering.
Yeah, Warmog's now finished for Gemini. Gonna feel good for him if he can get out of these fights.
Cloud Soul, very scary soul to have, especially on just everyone, actually. Yeah, just everyone benefits so much on the side of CFO.
Yeah, especially the LB and Cassante.
Yeah.
Even the Smolder feels pretty amazing. Gives him another escape tool, essentially, with his ulti. Already often used defensively.
3 items
for
now
the healing.
For Shun. On the Smolder. Gory getting close to his Void Staff as well.
Yeah.
Jimmy and barely getting off the ground.
Yeah, nightmare situation for Wako as an MF this far behind a Smolder. Means you're just never going to be as relevant, especially with a Braum on the enemy team. They did have the option to ban this. As flanked now is Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy might be in a lot of trouble here. Probably going to have to use their ultimate to try to get away. Here comes all the CC layering. Kaiwing staying alive. Jimmy's made his way out though. He has eventually go down. Gory's able to find him. Here comes that bullet time. They aren't able to find a kill though as Driver. And with the movement speed afforded to him, with this Cloud Soul, is just sprinting around the team fight.
Yeah, Gory has TP up now, so this should be just a Baron secured for CFO. Wako without ulti on the MF. Gemini, same deal on the Maokai. Jung TP'd here, probably wishing he stayed and went for a tier 2 bot.
Yeah, Gory does take a bit of a chunk of damage here from Jiang, but we are going to contest. Wako's still alive. Gemini's still here. Oh my god, it could be another theft. Gemini's so good at doing so, trying to keep his AD carry alive, but there's no way to do that. Wako is just annihilated, and Shun is just running around this team fight doing whatever he could dream to do. Now, Gory chasing Jiang is going to land the chain, but Jiang trading back, and he's trading back well. Gory jumps out. Gory able to find that lockdown, and it's CFO finding yet another team fight win. 4K in the lead, and this Baron sure to go down in the near future. They're just running away with game number 2.
Yeah, Jung feels so strong. He pretty much single-handedly stops that Baron take as his teammates just go down without much of a fight, and it takes so long to kill the Jax. Even for 4 members on the side of CFO, that they can't actually finish the Baron. Still in a great spot for CFO. Gory picked up his Void Staff and a blue potion now. Gonna be destroying this Yone that he is just sprinting out.
Shield bow now finished for Jimmy, and so it gives him a little bit more safety, but the CFO, they're just running up here so fast as Driver. Coming gonna have to flash away, maybe is able to get away because of that Nimbus cloak, but no, he gets slowed up. Jimmy trying to peel for his support, does find a 2-man, maybe even 3-man knock up, and is he gonna get stunned up at the back end of his E? This Yone gonna go down. Driver able to just auto attack him out, and that is 2 people going down, and CFO now sprinting towards a certain Baron.
Yeah, Wako clears the mid wave, and they have no top wave, so no towers or inhibs taken by CFO, but they'll be pretty happy to pick up this Baron. It will segue them perfectly into the Elder. That's going to be up in 2 minutes 30. And if you're Frank, you just have to be looking at this Elder as your opportunity back into the game.
John getting very aggressive here, does try to jump over the wall, but it's too little too late, and Gory hits him with a nuclear bomb.
Yeah, and an emote to boot on his way out, massive on the LB. Finishing his Void Staff before Jung can even get any meaningful magic resist, just a Negatron cloak.
Yeah, looking for the wit's end is Jiang. Gemini here. I mean, I don't know what my Maokai is trying to do, but I don't think it's going to work against the 7-1-7 LeBlanc. Gory so far ahead.
Yeah,
certainly looking better than game number 1.
Yeah, and if you remember how much they invested just to get that 1 death onto Gory, means it's definitely an MVP performance out of him this game, and probably means that's the last time we'll be seeing a blind pick Yone.
Yeah, 2 towers will fall. Both the mid and the top lane. Inner tower is now going down as we approach the 30-minute mark. It is CFO firmly in the lead. 8k gold advantage. Certainly growing out from the 1k it was for many, many minutes not so long ago. Baron available still for 2 minutes, and Elder spawning in the middle of that means that CFO, if they want to, they can play it slowly. Play for that Elder. But maybe you don't even want to. Don't want to offer Frank that chance as Driver.
Yeah.
Getting some headway in the bottom lane, actually landing with that in the Tofu strikes, but Young not really feeling the impact all too much.
Yeah, has a level lead now. This Baron gives so much XP that every member of CFO is at a significant level advantage. Jung just engaged on by Driver, taking so much damage.
Yeah, gonna have to go now back to his base as this bot lane inhib is almost certain to fall after this tower does go down. Mid lane as well can be the same can be said about that, should I say, is yeah, 2 inhibs will be going down. Now, 45 seconds on the Elder. Will Frank even be able to contest it is really the question.
Yeah.
Because right now, they're going to lose a 3rd inhib. There's going to be multiple doubled up Baron minions. Both teleports available for the side of CFO. It might just have to be a Gemini steal attempt. And admittedly, if there was someone in the entirety of the PCS that you would want to rely on to steal this objective, it definitely is Gemini, but boy oh boy does he have his work cut out for him.
Yeah, how's he even getting to this pit? Look at the vision on the map. Not a single ward outside the base. I guess a couple of wards outside the base for Frank on that top side, but that's the wrong side of the map if you want to contest this Elder.
Yeah, Kaiwing is making his way there. He has Gemini behind him. Wako and Yijiang not so far behind. Pings onto that teleport. They realize, CFO, what they can do. They don't need to play for this Elder. They are the ones with all the cards, but they're looking for Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa getting focused down as the Nature's Grass comes out, and Shun's going to be completely untouched. Teleport does come through. Jimmy's going to try and find his way into Shun, but won't be able to do so. There's going to be an execute coming through. On the other side, Gory just annihilates Yijiang. He's able to play however he wants on this LeBlanc as Wako is taken out. The teleports is all it's going to take now. They're going to confirm the last 2 kills. They're going to teleport to the base. They're going to take game number 2, and it's now all tied up.
Yeah, Frank doing what they had to even have a chance of coming back into this game. They show up to the Elder fight, doesn't go their way. They just go on the first member they find, and Karsa hoping that CFO are out of position to back him up. Well played by CFO to not be, and they close out the game very cleanly.
Very, very cleanly indeed. And I think back to the drawing board when it comes to this draft, because I think you had a gaping hole in that mid lane where this Yone just could not do anything. And I think, honestly, after looking at game 1 versus game 2, you're probably just going to go into game 3 and ban the LeBlanc, I think. Just get rid of that. Corey looking way, way better.
Yeah.
On this LeBlanc, he did it to you last time you went up against them. He's done it to you this time when you got up against them. Don't let him have this champion because he will just take over the game entirely.
Yeah, and you do just maybe have to ban it unless, as Frank, you're willing to take the red side away from CFO. CFO have chosen red side 2 games in a row now, and it's to enable picks like this out of the mid lane.
The Yone blind was perplexing. I will say that.
They tried to get cute and deny the Sejuani Yone combo that CFO really like, but you let Gory take his pick of the lane bullies that he wants to play. Very good on the LB. We've seen him on it before.
Yeah, and honestly, after game 1, where Jimin was able